Hello, students. Welcome to Module 2. This week, we are going to be focusing all on words. And so I wanted to give you just a brief overview of this module and kind of let you know what we're going to be doing this week. And so I wanted to first talk about the essential question for the module, which is how do people use words to express themselves? And so if you watched the video, that was the Get Curious video about the two little girls that were playing at recess, there was one little girl who was really wanting to play with the other student, and yet she couldn't find the words that she needed to express that. And so by the time she finally said something, it was time for recess to be over. And so sometimes, the way that we say things or what we actually say, it can tell other people how we're feeling. It can, show our emotion. So words can be very important, both when we're reading and when we're using them in real life. And so in this module this week, we are going to be looking at some characters. This is going to sort of tie into what you did in Module 1. We're still going to be looking closely at characters, and we've talked about character traits and how different characters act and how they, what they feel and what they think in a story. And now this week, we're going to look closely at what they actually say, and we're going to learn more about our characters through their words. And so our anchor text this week is a story called Dear Primo. And this is a story about two cousins. One is a boy that lives in Mexico, and then his cousin lives, it doesn't ever tell us, but he lives in a city somewhere in the United States. And so these two boys, they live very different lives, and you're going to realize that as you read the story. But they still have some things in common. And so the two boys' names are Charlie and Carlitos. And like I said, they communicate with one another through writing letters. And so they must be very purposeful about how they use their words, because that's how they're communicating and talking with one another. So I think you're going to really enjoy that story. Also, throughout this module, we are going to learn about dialogue. We're going to learn what dialogue is. You're going to look at some examples of dialogue in a text that you read. So those are some of the different things that you're gonna be learning about. Our main focus, though, towards the end of this module is going to be to compare and contrast characters. Okay, so this is going off of, like I said, we are looking at two characters, and we're going to examine their words and their traits. But we're going to learn what it means to compare and contrast. And so I've got some great videos for you to watch, and some different resources that are going to introduce you to that reading skill. Before I let you get started on this module, I do want to share with you some of the big idea words that go along with this module on using your words. And so the first word is express. And so you can see the picture. It shows, a little boy, or actually a few little boys. They look like they're at a birthday party, and their smiles. It seems like they are happy, right, or having a good time. The word express, it says when you express yourself, you show what you feel and think. So sometimes we can express ourselves without using words. The next word is convey. When you convey information or feelings, you communicate or make an idea understandable to someone. So in this picture, it looks like the teacher is conveying or telling what he expects of his students. The next word is chronicle. And a chronicle is a story or account of a series of events. And so it's like when we read, a text that is giving us, a story or something that happened in real life, it tells us in a specific order. And then the last word is creative. someone who is creative can imagine ideas and invent new things. Okay, so those are just some of the big idea words that kind of will help you better understand maybe some of the things that we talk about in this module. Some things that you're going to be doing for me. One of the things is you are going to be working on a compare and contrast Venn diagram. That is something that we can use. It's a graphic organizer. So you're going to compare and contrast Charlie and Carlitos from our story this week. You will also be doing a letter writing activity where you actually write a letter to either Charlie or Carlitos. And so going along with the theme of the module, you're going to have to choose words carefully to describe yourself and your life to them as if they were going to be able to read your letter. Okay, so obviously you will share that with Mrs. Ladd, but I'm looking forward to reading your letters later this week. And then finally, you will take a comprehension quiz over our anchor text, Dear Primo. So please let me know if you have questions this week about any of your assignments or the tasks that I've given you. Remember that you can always contact me through email, and I'm available on Google Meet from 1 to 2 o'clock each day during the week. Okay, see you soon. Have a good week.